temple and the road in between are all kept in the same position, although the mud road is paved now. The temple is dedicated to Shantinatha Shiva. Ramanand Jugi constructed this temple. This temple is 35 feet height and faces the east. This Shiva temple is constructed in the traditional Pathshala style, with decorated front of terracotta statues of various gods and goddesses. Chandramani Devi had an extraordinary experience here. She herself narrated, "One evening when I was speaking with Dhani in front of Jugi Shiva temple, I suddenly saw divine effulgence coming from the holy image of great god Shiva, filling the temple and rushing towards me in waves. All of a sudden the light engulfed me and swiftly entered my body. Stunned by wonder and fear, I fell unconscious. After that incident, she started feeling that she had conceived, and in due course, Sri Ramakrishna was born." Every evening, a lot of devotees gather here to attend Sri Ramakrishna's arati. The neighboring areas are full of memories of Sri Ramakrishna's divine play as a child. Just 3 minutes away from the mutt is the Pine House, where he had his third Bhava Samadhi. This is Sitanath Pine's house. He was a well-to-do, pious man and a friend of Shuddhiram. In his house he had a traditional Pancharatna temple dedicated to Vishnu and Shiva. This is in ruins now. Every year on the night of Shivaratri, he used to arrange religious plays. Once, due to the illness of the main actor, Gadai was asked to play the role of Shiva. They started chanting mantra and blowing conch. Soon he lost outer consciousness and stood frozen on the stage. To honor this incident, this memorial is built. Just 100 meters away from the Pines house is the house of Dharmadas Laha. This is the old house of the Lahas. They were the richest family in the village. Once during a Shraddha ceremony here, a Pandit Sabha was organized. During the Sabha, there was a heated argument among them. The young Gadai was enjoying the debate. Seeing the commotion among the elderly Pandits, he came forward to give a simple solution to their complicated problem. This incident gives a glimpse of that special quality of Sri Ramakrishna by which he gave very simple explanations of difficult scriptural concepts. This is the Vishnu temple of the Lahas. The temple was constructed following the Dalan form of architecture prevalent amongst the temples in Bengal. This is the Laha family's doll exhibition. Here they have arranged for a permanent doll exhibition depicting scenes from the Puranas. This is the Durga Mandap of Laha family. During Sri Ramakrishna's childhood days, Durga Puja used to be organized here in a grand manner. Young Gadadhar used to take part in these celebrations. This is the Chandi Mandap of the Durga Dalan. During major festivals, jatras, harikathas, kavi gan, kirtan were organized here. At other times, it was used as a primary school for the village children. Sri Ramakrishna too had his schooling in this Pathshala. When Gadai was 5 years old, his father got him admitted to this Pathshala. Within a short time, he could read and write in a simple way, but he was averse to arithmetic. Till today, the Laha family has tried to maintain this Pathshala in its original form. Some of the poles that were there at Sri Ramakrishna's time are still standing today. To the right of the Pathshala is the Rasmancha. Every year during Ras Purnima, a festival is organized here. To the right of the Rasmancha is the Shiva temple of Prasanna Mai, the daughter of Dharmadas Laha. Just opposite to Pathshala stands Gopeshwar Shiva temple. Sri Ramakrishna adopted his own unique way of doing intense sadhana in Dakshineshwar Kali temple. This, some people mistook as a sign of madness. When this news reached Kamarpukur, his anxious mother came to this ancient Gopeshwar Shiva and took a vow of fasting and prayer for her son's recovery. Here she received this instruction: "Your desire will be fulfilled if you undertake the vow of fasting and prayer to the Shiva of Mukundapur." Just behind the Gopeshwar Shiva temple stands the Kamarpukur tank, from which the village got its name. Near Gopeshwar temple was the house of Sri Ramakrishna's nurse, Dhani Kamarni. Dhani Kamarni had a long association with Shuddhiram's family. Being the village nurse, she nursed Chandramani Devi during Sri Ramakrishna's birth. She used to love him as her own child. During his Upanayana ceremony, Sri Ramakrishna took his first bhiksha from her. The local devotees built this temple in her memory. It was consecrated on 5th March 1946. A little distance away from Dhani Kamarni's house was Chinu Shankahari's house. This is the picture of his house. He was a devout Vaishnava. He was the first person in Kamarpukur to recognize the divinity of Gadadhar. He believed that Gadadhar was an incarnation of Sri Chaitanya. So he loved and respected him very much. He used to feed young Gadadhar as the cowherd boys used to feed Sri Krishna of Vrindavan. At present, a Tulasi Mancha has been erected in the place of his house. 1 kilometer away from Chinu Shankahari's house is Budui Moral Smoshan. It is one of the cremation grounds where Sri Ramakrishna practiced sadhana in solitude. Just opposite to the main gate of the mutt is Haldarpukur. Sri Ramakrishna, his parents, Holy Mother Sri Sharda Devi and other devotees of Sri Ramakrishna used to bathe here. So the water of this pond has become holy. Lots of stories are associated with Sri Ramakrishna and Sharda Devi to this pond. In the Gospel, we find Sri Ramakrishna often refer to this tank to illustrate many of his witty sayings. He used to say that in his childhood, it was a common scene for people to commit nuisance around the pond early every morning. To prevent this, people decided to do something about it. But there was no result. It continued just as before. Then they complained to the concerned Tehsildar, and he put a notice that committing nuisance here is prohibited. From the very next day, it stopped. This is the power of authority. In the same way, giving lectures without authority from God does not bear any fruits. During Holy Mother's stay at Kamarpukur as a shy young bride of 12 or 13, she used to feel afraid to go alone to the Haldarpukur for a bath. Later, she said that the Ashtasakhis of Divine Mother, in the form of 8 girls, used to accompany her to Haldarpukur every day for protecting her. Just beside the parking area of the mutt is a plot of land called Lakshmi Jala. This was the land that was gifted to Shuddhiram on his arrival to Kamarpukur by his friend Sukhlal Goswami. After Shuddhiram got the Raghuvir Shila, the Lord saw to it that no further misfortune befell him. This land turned out to be very productive and fertile. That is the reason it came to be known as Lakshmi Jala. The Anna Bhog of Raghuvir Shila and Sri Ramakrishna is prepared from the rice grown in this field. Opposite to the guest house stands Bhutir Khal, cremation ground. At the corner of this field stands a banyan tree under which young Gadais spent long hours in spiritual practices. A mile away from Kamarpukur circle is Mukundapur Shiva temple. On receiving the divine instructions from Gopeshwar Shiva, Chandramani Devi continued her fast in this temple. After 2 or 3 days of fasting, Shiva appeared in a dream and consoled her, saying, "Don't be afraid, your son is not mad. He is in that state on account of a tremendous awakening of divine spirit in him." Two kilometers away from Ramakrishna Math is the ruins of Manik Raja's palatial house at Bhurshuva village. Manik Raja and his family were very fond of young Gadai and often brought him to their house. Sri Ramakrishna made his huge mango garden his playground. He used to enact many plays here along with the other village children. The ruins of the gate shows his artistic sense. Durga and Shiva temples built by him show his religious temperament. The two tanks, Shukshair and Hathi Shair, built by him, remind us of his generosity. It is 20 minutes drive to reach Visalakshi temple from Kamarpukur. This is the temple of goddess Visalakshi, a popular Devi temple of the village Anur. When Sri Ramakrishna was a young boy of 8, he had a divine experience on his way to this temple. On the way, while singing the song of Divine Mother, he was immersed intensely on the thought of the goddess and lost his external consciousness. At that time, the women devotees accompanying him felt Divine Mother's presence in him. This was his second known ecstasy during his childhood at Kamarpukur. Here is the final leg of the pilgrimage. May the sweet memories of visiting these blessed places give us peace and joy and bestow on us the longing for coming back to these places again and again.